And we are going to go ahead and get started today. So happy Thursday, everybody. This week has flown by for me. I don't know if it's flown by for you, but we are here today for our newly certified WBE onboarding session. So first, I would like to say congratulations to all of you as newly certified WBEs. Welcome to the family, I like to say. We're excited to have you join us as a certified WBE. And in this session, Lynn Childs, who is going to be facilitating this session for us, is going to share all things about your new journey as a certified WBE, answer any questions that you may have, all that good and fun stuff. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And I always like to take a moment before we do any of our workshops that I facilitate to introduce our team, just so that way you have the chance to be able to put a face with a name or name with a face. And then when we see you at any of our upcoming events, you have an idea as to who you're seeing and who you're talking to. So I don't think I introduced myself, so I'll jump and start with myself. My name is Dr. Ketiana Lowe. I go by Dr. K, and I'm the Director of Programs and Events here at WBEC ORV. And then we have our COO, which is Dr. Frederica Singletary. Our fractional CFO is Jackie Jordan. And our Senior Director of Marketing, Communications, and Engagement is Courtney Martin. And then you all, I'm sure, are very familiar with our certification team, led by our Director of Certification and Outreach, Colleen Rudisill, and Robbie Moore, who is our Certification Manager. And then our executive assistant to the CEO is Jency Smith, and our administrative assistant is Morgan McDonald. So we are a mighty and ever-growing team who work diligently to put together all things in regards to certification and programs and events for our corporates and our WBEs. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our presenter for today. Lynn Child is the principal founder and president of Centricom. Lynn, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd be happy to. First of all, I'd like to welcome all my fellow sisters into the sisterhood. We're so excited to have you on board. As the presentation proceeds today, what I'd like to do is to make sure it's interactive. So if you have questions as we go forward, please jump in. And there's also Q&A at the end. As Dr. K just suggested to you, my name is Lynn Child. My company is Centricom. I have been certified since 2016, actively involved ever since I've become certified. I sat in your seat back in 2016, and since that time, I've taken advantage of the networking and being involved to the point where I am also a forum member, and I do attend you're going to hear about these things, Catch the Wave, which is our regional conference, as well as the national, and then forum meetings as well. So I'm excited to be able to share with you today. My company is a cybersecurity IT company, and we work with clients regionally, and we're located in Ohio, regionally, as well as some of my clients are global. So happy to share more information, but that's me in a nutshell. I'm excited to hear from each of you. If we could take just a minute, Dr. K said each of you could introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll jump into the presentation. I always like to hear about who our new Weebies are. Right, Dr. K?
Definitely. So we will start in order of who's on my screen. So Elizabeth, you are first.
All right, great. Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm Elizabeth Mangan, and I'm CEO and owner of Miller Valentine Construction and MV Investment. But for WeBe purposes, it's Miller Valentine Construction. So we are in Cincinnati, Dayton, Ohio, and then in both Columbia and Charleston, South Carolina. We build all over the country. Strategy is really based on growing with collaborative clients in market sectors where we see growth and where we have expertise. So I'm really excited to be here. My background was a legal background. So I came up through the business as general counsel.
Wonderful. Welcome. And next, the original Jill.
Good morning. My name is Jill Gaynor. I am CEO and owner with my husband, a majority owner of Premier Packaging, LLC. We are a, international packaging company. So we have 6 manufacturing plants in the U.S. We have over 90 locations in the US, Canada, and Mexico. We started the company in 1994. What makes us unique in the industry for us is that we are not just a manufacturer, we are also a distributor. So all those packages that show up on your porch, those corrugated boxes, anything on in to protect them, tape, we supply it. So super excited to be part of this. I think we were, my marketing team's on here, 17th largest minority owned in this particular industry. So gives us a little bit of an edge that I'd like to hope. Currently at our plant here in New Jersey. I've been on the road this week. Was in Chicago at American Summit, which was super exciting, and excited enough to meet some rock star women and led a panel discussion about women in leadership. So that's been my
Wonderful.
week so far.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you.
And next is Laura.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Jennings. I am the Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of Level Up Strategies. We focus on management consulting, but with a specialization in growing companies, as far as making sure that if you're a CEO or entrepreneur and you're starting to build a team, or if you're a mid-sized company, maybe that has received a contract or something to grow the company really quickly, that you have your systems and processes documented, or you have your operations designed properly. And so, yeah, management consulting, but with the ability to build teams in HR, do strategic communications, change management communications, and operational design.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Welcome.
And next is Mallory.
Hello. My real name is Mallory Robinson. I am the Director of Marketing here at Premier Packaging. I know Jill gave a wonderful background about the company. I've been working with Premier almost 13 years. And I don't know, we're very excited to be officially woman-owned business, and all the opportunities that will open for us. And the lighting in my office is horrible, so I apologize that you have to look at me right now.
It's
I think you
okay.
look great.
You look fine. Exactly.
I'm also very pregnant, so that doesn't help my.
Well, as long as you don't give birth while we're on this
I
call,
won't.
I'm okay.
Sorry, I'm not. I wish I was very pregnant. I'm 28 weeks pregnant.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
love to
still,
be
as long as you don't give birth on this call, we're
That's
okay.
right.
Either
I
way.
think we're good.
So,
She's a pro. She's a pro. It's number 3. So.
Yeah, a third boy, so we're fine.
So Mallory, this is Elizabeth. Funny you say that. I had to record a video for like a board I sit on, and I had the worst lighting and background. And they showed it in front of the board, and I'm like, I look like I have the flu. Like, what is that? So I made him paint my walls. I'm like, no more background. Paint the walls. We need contrast. So
Bill,
I'm just
I need new paint on my
Bill,
wall.
she needs to paint the walls. It worked for me.
Well, to be fair,
Like
Mallory and
Talking,
Sydney,
I was like,
the
she
other
looks
one on,
great.
to be fair, Mallory and Sydney, the other young lady here on the call,
Yep.
showed me on the Zoom info or Zoom call that you can max out your filter. So my filter is maxed out. So
Oh, goodness. Everybody, we're just learning all sorts of
glowing
tips
the-
today.
all the time.
all the secrets, 100%.
Yes. Well, let's keep moving forward. We got a couple more people that need to introduce themselves, and then Lynn's got a lot of content she wants to share with you all. Sydney, I heard your name drop, so go ahead and introduce yourself, Sydney. You're on mute if you're talking to us. Oh, you must be in the same room.
Sorry. Now
Okay,
talk.
can you hear me on her speaker?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm Sydney McBride, almost said Thomas. I just got married last year. I've been with Premier for 5.5 years. This is actually my first job out of college. So been here, love it. It's been great. And yeah, we're really excited to get to know more about Weeping and everything.
Wonderful. Congratulations. And next is Pamela Scott.
Good morning. My name is Pamela Scott, and I am the founder and creative director of Breakthrough Lens. We are a boutique production company, so we create corporate branding videos for their websites, for social media. We also do portrait and brand photography, and we do a lot of event work, highlight reels for events and event photography as well.
Wonderful. Next is Neely.
Hi, I'm Neely Haran. I own Haran Hiring Solutions. We are a staffing and recruitment company out of Louisville, Kentucky. We actually place people nationwide and have contracts in 17 states currently. We support manufacturing companies for maintenance and engineering positions. And I also didn't know this was a camera on situation, so please excuse my outfit today.
You are fine. I've got on a t-shirt. You're totally fine. I promise you. It's not that serious, ladies. Next is Sarah.
Sure. Hi, good morning. My name is Sarah. I live just north of Boston, Massachusetts, and I own a property that I converted into a wedding venue with my mom 6 years ago. So we do mostly weddings, but also lots of other types of events. And we are a very, very small team, just me, my mom, and I have one employee.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, welcome everyone. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen again. Let me find the correct one. Here we go. And then, Lynn, you can go ahead and take it away.
Sure, happy to do so, and excited to do so, actually. Well, again, what I'd like to say to all of you is congratulations. You've made a very wise choice in becoming certified. I know it's a little bit of a daunting process. I remember those early days when I had put together so much information, tax returns, financials, references, all that sort of thing. And you all have done that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call. So get ready. I'm going to share lots of information. I get excited about things, but feel free to ask any questions along the way because I want to make sure that you feel welcome and that you learn as much as you can in the next 45 minutes or so. So again, thank you again for introducing yourself. We have a wide range of folks from lots of different areas. And as you can see on the screen, we're going to be talking about an overview. We're going to also be talking about the actual network. And then we're going to be talking about our platform, which we use the acronym CORE, C-O-R-E, which represents certifications, opportunities, resources, and engagement. So hold on to your hat. We're gonna go warp speed. Okay. First of all, about the national organization. As you all know, and part of the reason you joined this particular organization is because it is so well known and nationally recognized. We are the group that works diligently to fuel economic development by supporting women-owned businesses. And as you can see, the numbers down there, there's over 20,000 of us. We have 550 corporates plus. There are 14 regional organizations, and we're just one integrated sisterhood, one integrated organization that moves forward together, and we're cohesive, we network, and it's an exciting opportunity for you to be part of this. Next slide. This is the actual network. And I heard someone mention, maybe it was Sarah, that she was in Boston. You can find yourself on the map depending on where you are in the country. I think the majority of you are probably in WBEC ORV, Ohio River Valley, which would be Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. You can see us there on the map. I just want to make sure that you are aware there are 14 different regions, and I will tell you one of the advantages of being involved in this is that you can participate across the country in various different, what we call regional programming, RPOs. I apologize. And it's exciting to see where everyone is located and how it's divided across the country. So next slide, please. These are the actual 14, and they go by a specific name. For those of you that are in our region, you can see fourth from the bottom, WBEC ORV, and we have our own website. Okay, let's jump right into the WeBank brand. And I think this is really important for you folks to be aware of. WeBank Link is our database that contains a lot of the information about branding and marketing. It has our WeBe seal, our logo, our guidelines, because we're pretty strict about how we represent ourselves as a national organization. Um, we're going to be looking at that in a little bit more detail, but I wanted you to be aware that you can go to WebLink 2.0 and there's lots of great information. Next slide. Now, let's talk about this because this can be a little bit confusing for folks. We have a seal and we also have a logo. The seal, as you can see, and you can read what's on our screen here, that's used primarily for like business cards and website and collateral, whether it's C2B or B2B collateral. That's how we use the seal. We actually put it on our business cards in a variety of other ways. Now, the logo is recognized nationally, and we're going to show you in just a minute how it's used. But we have the seal and we also have the logo. Next slide, so I can show you in detail. As you're looking at your screen on the left-hand side, that's how the seal is used. We use it on business cards, email signatures, RFPs, websites. The logo, and I find myself, I get excited because when I go places and do things, I look, and I think you'll find yourself looking as well. For those of you that are interested, you can look on bottles, as you can see there, on storefronts, online, on social media, and websites, you can see the women-owned actual logo. So we have the seal, that's more for collateral and that aspect. And then we also have the logo. And I don't know if you can see this, but on my business card, I actually do have the seal. It's on there. So I put it on everything I possibly can. I also have it on the front door of my business. So then and it's glass. So when people walk in, they can see the seal as well. So I proudly display it because it is a wonderful way to get the word out that you're a woman-owned business and part of this grand network. Next slide. Now, as part of the branding, they're very specific about what you do and what you don't. So let's take a minute and actually look at this. On the left-hand side, you can see the do's, and on the right-hand side, you can see the don'ts. So WeBank is not possessive. It is WeBank certified with a dash. We refer to ourselves as WeBe unless it's a possessive use. We are WeBank certification, and also it's important. So they want you to capitalize the C. We also have the WBE seal, woman-owned business seal, and we have the woman-owned logo that we just discussed. And then the last one, this is extrememely important because as you move forward, you're going to have team members, and Premier's already done that. Kudos to you, Jill, and who else was there? Pamela, were you from Premier as well?
Nope, it's Jill and Sydney and Mallory.
All right, the three of you. I apologize for not remembering that, but it's great that you have others on this call. And that last point there, I want to stress the business is certified. Me, as a woman-owned business, I'm not the one certified. I'm part of the business. And that's significant because I can't be everywhere. So I have team members attend things like this. I have team members attend some of the networking events, some of the corporate networking events when we're learning about different businesses. For example, I was just yesterday, Target. The folks did a great job. They had a introduction to how to do business with, no, it was Tractor Supply. I apologized. Target was last week. We learned about how to do business with Tractor Supply, but I also had another teammate on that call with me so that he could go ahead and do the follow-up. So again, I want to stress the importance that it's the business that is certified. The woman needs to have more than 51% ownership, like all of you, but it is your business, so others of your team can join. And it's fun too when you have a gentleman, because it's majority of ladies on our calls, but once in a while we get some gentlemen, and that's good. Next slide, please. The certification, we have WeBank link, and then as you can see, we also have the seal there as well as WOSB. You are aware, because we just spoke about it, WeBank link is our database. Great resource. And we do webinars that help you understand how to use that resource. I highly recommend that you attend one of those webinars if you haven't done so already. They will take you through and they will help you understand how to get into the corporate part of the database, how to connect with Weebies. That's where you find your certification information. There's just a lot of really good information on branding and marketing. If you haven't done that yet, please consider attending one of the webinars and then use that as a asset to be able to reach out to other Weebies and other corporates. Also, I would imagine all of you, when you applied, also applied to be recognized as a WOSB, and that is through the Small Business Administration. So what I do is I use both of these logos on my collateral, and when I'm speaking to people, I'm certified by the national organization, but I'm also certified by the Small Business Administration. Any questions about that? You should have both certifications. Isn't that right, Dr. K?
Yes, you can do both.
Any questions about that? All right. Recertification. I just finished that at the end of March. Once you are certified and you go through the initial and you give tax returns and you do your financials and you do your references, every year you're going to be asked to recertify. The reason they do that is because they want to ensure and they understand if there were any changes in your business, how things are going moving forward, because it's kind of like a stamp of approval, and corporates rely on the certification process to ensure that they're doing business with reliable, stable, and very good women-owned businesses. So I will tell you, you will start getting notices about 120 days ahead of time before your certification expires. Please, please, please don't wait till the last minute. I try not to do that because it will take some time between 30 and 60 days to get recertified. So for me, I actually started to get involved and working on it in January and February. I was a little bit delayed because of documentation I needed, but then I was recertified at the end of March. So also, every 3 years, you actually do have a visitation. Since COVID, they've been doing them virtually, but it was very in depth. I had to do a video tour of my actual facilities. So I walked around with with a Weebie that was assigned to do the virtual tour. I had to show them my signage. I had to walk through the office. I had to show them picture or a lease. I had to show them something that had my signed signature on it. It's very thorough, but you don't have to go through quite as much as you did when you did your initial certification. But please be prepared for recertification every year. Please do start at least 120 to 90 days ahead of time. Next slide. Okay, from a regional standpoint, we were talking about national, the overarching. Now we're going to start talking about ORV, Ohio River Valley, our region, which is Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. We are a 501c3. We have over 1,100 certified Weebies, and yay, you are all part of that now. And we have 80 corporate members, and we're constantly growing those numbers. Our mission, as you can see, is to be innovative, collaborative, and engage groups of corporates, governments, Weebies, and advocates, and introduce to each other and try to figure out ways how we can support each other and potentially do business together. And that's very exciting. And as you can see, our vision is short and sweet: to be the premier resource for women-owned business development. Next slide. Now, certification process, again, we just talked about that, but you collect your documents. There's the process you go through that you've been through just recently since you're newly certified. You get notification about the fact that you do need to be recertified. And then once you're engaged and you're certified, attending one of these onboarding sessions and then jumping in. We're going to talk about how you're going to do that, jumping in and getting involved and networking. That's the key to success once you have your certification. Next slide. There is, and I will tell you, I had the privilege and honor of being involved in one of these development sessions. It's a 7-month long development program that you participate in with other Weebies, and they take you through all kinds of aspects of your business. It's based on the Kaufman Fast Track Growth Venture Program, and you can look that up on Google if you're interested. And it's hosted by corporates, P&G, Bath and Body Works, Marathon, Fifth Third Bank, and there are others. I had the fortunate to be involved in the Marathon one about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. And it really was helpful because I not only had to bring in my business information, like my financials, my marketing, all those sorts of things, and I was critiqued by the fellow Weebies in the room as well as by the corporates. Also, it was great because the one I attended from Marathon, they also had a lot of their corporate people come in. We were so impressed. Every month they would have 1 or 2 of their higher level corporate people come in, and you would think, well, how would they relate to a Weebie? They were excellent, and they're excellent in helping you understand concepts because it doesn't matter whether you're a large global company or you're a small company of 3 people. All the basic business concepts apply, and they help you understand that. And then you also learn about their business. Marathon was a client of mine prior, but I've been able to leverage even more business having gone through that program. Next slide. All right. There are many, many, many regional events, gatherings, networking, webinars, things that you can jump in and really become involved. I will tell you, the more involved you are, the more you get to meet and network your fellow Weebies and your corporates, and you can also then be recognized to move up from Weebie status, which is fantastic, and that's what the majority of our folks are. But then there's also the forum, which we're going to talk about, and then, of course, national. So all along the way, don't feel that you will necessarily stay right where you are today. As you get involved and as you network more and as you know people, there are ways to continue to move up within the organization. As you can see here, and you can read this, I'm not going to read all these lines. There are a variety of events, and our signature events are WeBe Connect, how we connect with each other, Catch the Wave. That's coming up, and Dr. K is going to talk about that at the end of this presentation. It's coming up in Cleveland at the end of August, and that is regional. That is our Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. But we do have folks on occasion come in from other RPOs as well, and then Bold and Brilliant. And you can learn about all these things online at our website. Dr. K, do you want to add anything else to that?
Nope, I'll add in, I'll talk about upcoming events when we get to the end.
All right, fantastic. All right. In order to make sure that you are supported as a new certified woman-owned business, we have a variety of different ways of doing that. And the list is here, and we've already talked about some of these. So we already talked about the database, and you can literally download corporates and Weebies and get that kind of information. So I again stress the fact that is a great tool for you to learn about. We also then talked about the women-owned and how we use our seal as well as our logo. We've talked about programs. You just saw a slide about some of those. We talked about, and we will right now, we haven't yet, the calendar. There is an online calendar through WeBank where you can go and search on different months and find different events that are going on. So just be aware that that's out there as well. So if you get confused, you're not sure something's going on, you can reach out to our local chapter, Dr. K and others that she introduced you to earlier in the presentation, or you can go out to the WeBank calendar, take a look at that and see if there might be something there that would be interesting to you as well. And then the last item, and this is really wonderful, act intentionally. This is a way that we recognize, and there's a campaign around it that we recognize our corporates, the corporates that support women-owned business. They have their very own logo there, so that when you see that logo, you know that that particular corporate is supporting women-owned businesses. Next slide. Oh, I know this is an eye chart as you're looking at it, but this represents so many, as it says, unlock and countless opportunities for you to get involved. There is We Thrive, there is Woman in Color, there is WeBank Energy, there's WeBank Chemical Industry. So depending on what business you're in, there are specific different entities that you can get involved with, but there are also general ones that you can get involved in. Also, it's important to note that WeBank has been really good, and ORV supports the fact that we have programming for next generation. We have programming supporting college. We have supporting program supporting women in color, women in pride, just a variety of different things. But what's really significant is, even though we have those various programs, if you're interested, you're invited to these things. No one is locked out of any of these opportunities. It's a matter of picking and choosing which ones interest you, which ones you feel would be of most value, and then deciding to move forward with that. Going back then, like Premier is doing, they have 3 folks on this call. Maybe you won't be involved in all of these. You might say, okay, Jill, you might want one person to be involved in this and another person to be involved in that, and you can cross-pollinate that way as well. You can also see there's the national conference, and we're going to be talking about that as well. All right, more resources. And again, these are more regional with Ohio River Valley. We have our own events calendar, which is probably the best place to go to for those of you that are in our region. But I want to keep it a little national because we've got some folks here from Boston as well. And I'm sure for your RPO, they probably have something very similar. There's also monthly newsletters. And as you look at the right-hand side, there are ways where you can have resources through this Small Business Administration as well. There's the SBDC, and maybe some of you have already used the Small Business Development Center. I know I have. There's local businesses, SCORE, which oftentimes is through your chamber, and they have mentors that can help your business. And generally, there's no fee at all involved in that. You just are paired up with someone who has expertise in business or is retired, and they help you go through and help you with your business. And then there's also Economic and Community Development Institute, and the website is listed there. And Dr. K, if I'm not mistaken, they will have access to this slide after our presentation today so that they can follow up. Is that correct?
Yes. So today is Thursday. So probably by the beginning part of next week, you'll receive an email that will have a link to this recording as well as a PDF of this entire deck. So you'll have access to this completely.
All right. So you don't have to worry about writing a lot of stuff down, and you don't have to be worried that you won't remember things. We will make sure. Again, that's another way that we try to support you, especially being new. For me, I remember first couple of years, actually, it was like drinking through a fire hose. There was just so many great things. I couldn't take it all in. So you will have this as a resource as we go forward. I'm going to stop for just a minute. Does anyone have any questions about what we've covered so far? More than happy to address them. Okay, hearing none. Next slide. Engagement. And again, I'm going to take a little time and spend time on this particular slide. That is the secret to success. That's the special sauce. It's not becoming certified, putting it on your business card, putting it on your product. That's not enough. You need to be out there. Your team needs to be out there. Having a sense of pride of being able to say that you're certified as woman owned, and that the company is certified. That's really important. That you want to have folks understand that you started your business, you're an entrepreneur, and that you are powerful going forward, part of a great sisterhood. And as it says there, where do you start? Well, attend events and programs, which we've talked about, and that's national and regional. Sit at tables. And again, don't get into the situation that once you start involving yourself in the organization, it's okay to be involved with a certain group of people that you've met, but please, please reach out. Be brave. Go and sit at a different table. Maybe take one of your colleagues with you, but then sit with new people. You never know when a door will open and someone will say, "Wow, I need that packaging solution," or "Wow, I have friends in Boston and they need a wedding venue," or however that might come up. It's amazing how the network works as we're talking with each other at the various events. And they also are very careful about when we do online, leaving time for us to have time to integrate and talk after whatever the presentation has to be. Actively post in virtual event chats. Don't just focus on corporations. I cannot tell you how important this is. You have a lot of weebies, and we have them on the call. I mean, we've had weebies that are national companies. I heard recruiting, I heard packaging, I heard construction, national companies. So doing business weebie to weebie, and that's how I've done some business is with weebie to weebie. I support some corporates as well, but I have had more business come to me working with weebie to weebie than I have had from the corporates. So don't forget weebies going forward. Others maybe have a different mix. My mix is I tend to do more business with weebies who need IT and cybersecurity than corporates, but I also do support corporates as well. I just want you to know that there's a balance there, and you don't want to forget other fellow weebies. They need your services as well. Apply for the executive education program. We talked about the ones from P&G, and I went through the marathon one. There are many others. Consider volunteering and sponsoring programs and events. That's really important. That's a way of getting your name out. And ORV and WeBank National is really good depending on your sponsorship levels. There are always different benefits, as you would probably realize, and they're very good about making sure they get your name out, introducing you, and getting involved in events. Attend a national forum meeting. Those are generally online, and I am on the forum. I and it's a smaller group of individuals, and we kind of act as liaisons up to national from the Weeby group. But what ends up happening is we also are responsible for putting on every year a webinar regarding certain categories. I happen to be on the government committee for forum, but there's a marketing, there's one doing business internationally, there's one doing let me think. There's also strategic planning, I believe, is part of one. So you can get involved in those and attend those as well. And then make introductions. All of you know someone. All of you may know someone that needs potentially packaging services or construction work or any of the things that were brought up on today's conversation. Feel free to make those introductions. Doesn't mean that someone's going to buy, but it is a way to pay it forward, and then that Weeby will be able to follow up, and who knows, something may come of it. Next slide, Dr. K. All right, more engagement. Want to share with you. We recognize out of every RPL, all 14 of them, one person per year that is a star. And that person kind of exemplifies business and success of a woman-owned business. And there's one from each RPO, and we celebrate them. We celebrate them at our regional conferences, and we celebrate them also at our national conference. Same thing is true with our top corporations. And you can see we actually have logos that represent them. We recognize our top corporations as well because we need to say thank you. They do business with us. They don't have to, but they choose to. And that's exciting, and we want to recognize them. And then there's also the Legacy of Leaders group, and that's corporates and WBEs. That's kind of, they're in the advisory capacity, and they've had significant roles in WeBank and in the regionals, RPOs. But sometimes they're retired, they've moved on, they sold their business, but their expertise is needed, so they may become part of the Legacy of Leaders. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware those are ways that we engage, we recognize, and then also, as you see on the right-hand side, as you look at your screen, there's the Applause Award, Crystal Leadership Award, He's for She's. You might say, well, what's that? Well, He's for She's are for those men in our organization that support we women. So we call them He's for She's. And there's many more. And you'll learn about those. We can't get into all of those today. There's just way too much. Next slide, please. All right, more engagement. And this is exciting. This is about ORV, Ohio River Valley. We have a trailblazer, we have the forum, and then we have our own star. Our trailblazer this year is Sheila Mixon. You can see her photo on the right-hand side. Sheila was the past president of our Ohio River Valley. She has since retired and started her own business, but we are recognizing her this year as the trailblazer at our regional conference and at national because of her contribution to Ohio River Valley. I mentioned to you before the forum. That's a small group of individuals that are nominated by the local RPO, and then we serve at the leisure of our RPO, and we work as liaisons between the WeBees and WeBank National. We also are here to support you. So if there will be information about the forum members. So if any of the WeBees are interested in talking to some of the forum members, we're also available to offer support as well. So don't feel free to reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to help you. And then this year, if you happen to be going to National in June or going to Catch the Wave, our regional conference in August in Cleveland, you will meet Molly, dynamic person. She's a member of Forum as well. She does fantastic work for her clients. She's in the telecommunications billing area, and you'll have a chance to meet Molly. And maybe someday, who knows, your picture might be up there as a star as well. Next slide, please. All right, more information about engagement from a regional standpoint. There are ways to gain more visibility through sponsorships. We mentioned that briefly before. On the right-hand side is a list of the various different things that you could sponsor and get your company's name out there. All the sponsorships are tiered with, well, most, as far as I know, they are. Dr. K, most of them have different tiers, if I'm not mistaken, for the ones I've sponsored. They all have different tiers, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I don't think I've seen anything that hasn't. So usually there are tiers, yes.
Okay.
I don't want anybody to nail me to the cross on that one in case we don't, in case we happen to have something that doesn't. But typically, yes, there are some type of a tiers.
Okay, so therefore, you don't necessarily have to invest a lot to get started. You can get started depending on your budgets. And I know we're already in the middle of a calendar budget year, so your budgets might be already verified or specified. So if you would like to maybe just get involved at a lower level with a lesser cost, but there are always different benefits, and you can become more visible and meet more people that way by doing some sponsorships. Again, you don't have to. It's totally voluntary, but I just want to make sure that you are aware there are a variety of different ways to get your name out as an organization. Next slide, please. Again, I think we're at a point where we're going to talk about our conference. I'm excited. I've been going ever since I was certified. So I think this will be my, I don't know, 8th or 9th year I've been there. Dr. K, were you going to talk about this slide?
Sure, I can. We actually have this a similar slide later in the upcoming events, but I'll go ahead and hit it since we're here. So as Lynn has mentioned, Catch the Wave is our regional conference. Nationals, we didn't have a slide for it, but Nationals has the national conference, obviously, which is taking place the end of June, and it is in New Orleans this year. I will drop the link in the chat if you are interested in attending that conference. Nationals conference it's always absolutely amazing. Probably like 5,000 people there, something along those along that level, but really, really great opportunity to meet people, to engage with corporates, engage with other WBEs, engage with folks at the national level. Catch the Wave is our regional conference, so it is not as large as national. We probably average about 350, 400 attendees at Catch the Wave, and each year we rotate it throughout our RPO. So we were in Cincinnati last year, we're in Columbus the year before that. This year we're going to be in Cleveland. Next year we're going to be in Louisville, Kentucky is our plan. So we like to be able to rotate it around so that way everybody is not, I'm not the designated person who has to drive 12 hours to get there every single year. We try to get into your own backyard every now and then, but it's a really great opportunity. We have workshops, obviously keynote speakers. If you are if you are one of the sponsors, if you've come in as a WBE sponsor, you have the opportunity to do some meet and greet or meet the buyer type opportunities with some of our corporate partners. So that's a really great opportunity that you have if you're interested in being a sponsor. I believe the lowest level of sponsorship for WBE is $1,000. So that is an option as well. Even if you're not able to sponsor this year or anything like that, it's still a really great opportunity to jump in with both feet and kind of get to know people, mix and mingle with folks. You can always volunteer if you're interested in volunteering, but it's a really great opportunity just for you to get to know, as Lynn says, your fellow sisters and and even many of our corporate members are there as well.
Yeah, so
So
during the
registration has not opened yet for Catch the Wave, but it will be opening soon. If you all should, by being new WBEs, have been added for our next newsletter, which will go out, I believe, next week. So just keep an eye on our social media and in our newsletters, and you'll get the notifications as to when registration goes live and when you can go ahead and register for the conference. If you're interested in being a sponsor, Robbie Moore is the contact for our WBE sponsorship. If you need his contact information, just shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat and I can connect you for that.
And Dr. K, I'd also like to add just a little bit more about the matchmaker.
Mhm.
That are the corporates are wonderful about participating in the matchmaker,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
allows generally it allows you to have one-on-one time with the corporate. It's not a long period of time. I mean, you don't get an hour with them, but you get enough time if you've got a good pitch and you take your collateral and you go and you specify ahead of time. Make a list of those that you really want to meet and concentrate on meeting those because there'll be many in the room and you can't get to everyone. So I highly recommend as you're attending, whether it's national or our regional conference, that you look at the list of those that are participating, come up with a list of those that you want to make sure you have a chance to meet, and then you will have one-on-one time with them during the matchmaker opportunities. And that is
That
very helpful if there's a particular corporate that you would want to go after. Dr.
Yeah,
K?
very, very true. So with the system that we're leveraging again this year, you actually will register for an individual time slot.
Mm-hmm.
So and each corporate only has so many time slots. So the
Mm-hmm.
corporates actually have the opportunity to say, hey, I want to meet with Elizabeth and learn more about her organization. And then Elizabeth also would have the opportunity to say, hey, corporate
Mm-hmm.
A, I would like to meet with you. So it's a really, really great opportunity. And I'll be honest, our corporates they're so down to earth. And oftentimes, if they don't have an opportunity or anything like that, they're still willing to share your information with others and things of that nature. So it's just a really great chance.
I would agree. And also, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes the corporate will actually reach out to you and ask for a time because they are actively engaged and they're looking at web link, they're looking at who's attending. And I've had a couple of occasions where a corporate reached out to me and scheduled an appointment during a matchmaker to make sure they had a chance to chat with me. So it doesn't work that way very often, but I have had that happen. And I've heard of others that have had that happen as well. All right, moving on. I just wanted to make sure we spent time on the matchmaker because that's really important as well. But again, weebie to weebie, you can do constant matchmakers at every lunch, dinner, breakfast. I mean, no matter what, throughout all the conferences, national and regional, you can be meeting other weebies. So it's almost like you are on matchmaking on steroids as you're meeting new people and going forward. So you don't have to wait just for the corporate matchmakers. Just understand we welcome talking to all of you and trying to figure out ways that we can pay it forward by suggesting you talk to someone, doing an introduction, or possibly our own businesses could use your services. Okay, engagement, regional. As you can see here, there is a QR code. If you want to get involved, which I highly recommend you get involved in one of the committees. You don't have to get involved in all of them, but get involved with one or two of them. If you have more than one person that's active, like Premier does, you could have a person in, like three of the ones that are listed here. Notice there's corporate engagement, there's certification, there's communication and marketing, there's finance, programming and events, women of color. Again, I can't tell you, it's important to get involved, be active, speak up during webinars. Don't be a wallflower. Be happy to ask questions, put questions, and if you're a little more uncomfortable until you get to know us better, I think you'll find out we don't bite, but put it in chat. And then they're always monitoring chat as well, and it will be brought up during the webinar or the networking event, or they'll get back to you afterwards if there's so many questions that they can't answer them all during that given webinar. Next slide. I think it's turning it over to you, maybe Dr. K.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So
Well,
I know this has been a lot of information. Let me stop sharing for a moment. And Lynn, thank you so very much. And I know you've provided opportunities for folks to ask any questions that they may have. We haven't heard any yet, but I just do want to take a moment and pause before I wrap up these last couple of slides here and just see, does anybody have any questions at all that they want to ask at this time?
No question, but just more of a comment. Ladies, I don't know how much networking you do, but I just came off of American Packaging Summit in Chicago this week. And I had a big, just shy of tattooing myself in wallpaper of our WeBank certification. And it was unbelievable how many people came to our booth, wanted to talk, just amazing conversations with some rock star women and men. But it's like the golden ticket, I'm not gonna lie. So a lot of corporations that we do business with are looking for this. And even our guys that have gone out and sold, and they say, hey, we just got our WeBank certification. I mean, the conversation's a 180. So whether you tattoo yourself, brand the heck out of it with your logo, we have it on our signature line. We have it on our website. We're going to put it on our business cards. It's it's working for you guys. I just
Wonderful.
wanted to throw that out there in my
No,
short
I appreciate you
time with
sharing
this.
that. I
Yeah,
definitely
great.
appreciate you
It's
sharing
been
that.
unbelievable. I just came off this thing in Chicago and I was like, oh my God. I mean, I had one lady want to take a picture with me and I'm like, really? Okay.
Sure.
And as we're talking here, just a quick question for all of you, because I know we're wrapping up shortly. Is there anything that Dr. K or I can do for you now? Are there any introductions or people you want to meet or anything that we can do? I mean, we can take an action step and try to help get you. I'm going to national. I've already registered. I'm going to the Catch the Wave. Um, so if you want to know any information about conferences or how to get involved, or if you're going and you just want to have a smiling face that you know to help introduce you to people, both Dr. K and I will be happy to do that. So I think Dr. K is going to supply my contact information. Please, please, please feel free to reach out to me, reach out to Dr. K, and we're here to help support you and get you involved.
Yep, Lynn, I will drop your contact information into the chat. As we're wrapping up the last couple of things that I have here, if you are not watching this on your cell phone and have the capability, you can take out your phone and scan this QR code, excuse me, and just fill out a brief survey for us. If you happen to be on your cell phone or don't have the ability or capability to be able to do that right now, that's fine as well. When you receive everything via email, probably beginning part of next week, you'll also have the link to the same survey. And so you'll be able to provide us with some feedback so that way we can we're always open to suggestions as to ways that we can maximize and leverage this session that we're providing here. And so while you are filling that out, I just want to go over the last couple slides I have are upcoming events that we have. The first one is actually coming up on May 20th. It's our Pitch Academy. And so it's a really great opportunity to help you to fine tune or create, depending upon where you are, or just get feedback on your pitch. Everything that we do pitch wise always is pushing you all towards hopefully pitching at Catch the Wave. So if you are not already familiar, Nationals has a national pitch competition that ends in, I want to say it's in November is when they do final rounds, and there's like big money in the prizes for that. And so at the local RPO level, it's the opportunity. It's basically how you, it's the first door to getting into that national pitch competition. So our top 3 winners of our pitch competition that we have at Catch the Wave will move on to semifinals and we'll move on to finals. And in the past 3 years that I've been with the organization, we have had WBEs from our RPO that have made it to finals. And last year, one of our WBEs, Pauline Storms Perkins, there we go, was a second place winner at finals. So our WBEs are amazing, and some of the ways they do that is by taking the time to get one-on-one small group, I should say, coaching and feedback. This is going to be a free webinar to our certified WBEs. You also can have your staff attend if that's something that you want staff to attend. Just always working together to be able to fine tune those pitches. And then also as a certified WBE, you have the opportunity to participate in our doing business sessions. And those are the opportunities that you can learn from our corporate members, and they share how to do business with their company. So oftentimes they will share if they have a certain portal that you have to know how to navigate and how to navigate that portal. If they have opportunities that they know that they're looking for, they share those types of information. If nothing else, it's a small group virtual opportunity for you to sit across the room with one of our corporate members. And instead of there being 5,000 people at nationals, it's now a room of 10 or a room of 20. And you get to introduce yourself and pitch your business and share your business. And while they may not be looking for something specifically in your industry, they may know somebody like, oh, I just met this WBE yesterday on this event. Let me pass your information on. So as a certified WBE, you have the chance to do that. So we've got doing business with Eaton on May 21st and doing business with the city of Columbus on June 11th. And then we also have, for those who may be in the Kentucky area or not too far, our WB Connect in Louisville, which is our WB Connects is an opportunity for our certified and non-certified WBEs to kind of network and meet and greet with each other. So we always have a whole lot of different things going on. We've already talked about Catch the Wave, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse. But we always have plenty of opportunities for you all to get engaged. So as Lynn said, I would definitely encourage you all to go ahead and jump in with both feet, sign up and attend some of our webinars that we have, plan to attend our in-person events that we have. They're just really, really great opportunities to help you. Above all, our plan is to help you to leverage your business and leverage your certification to push your business forward. And I know we're at 12:01, so I like to be mindful of time. If you think of anything along the way, you hang up and you're just like, oh man, what was that question? It just came back to me. Please don't hesitate to shoot me an email. If I don't know the answer, I will direct you to the right person who does. And other than that, I will say thank you all for joining, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.